I want you to listen to something. Representative Anthony Weiner from New York. Last night, he was the co-sponsor of a bill that didn't succeed, and he was mad. He was really, really mad. Listen to him.
Gentleman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the distinguished gentleman from New York, Mr. Weiner.
Gentleman is recognized.
Great courage to wait until all members have already spoken and then stand up and wrap your arms around procedure. We see it in the United States Senate every single day where members say, we want amendments, we want debate, we want amendment, but we're still a no. And then we stand up and say, oh, if only we had a different process, we'd vote yes. You vote yes if you believe yes. You vote in favor of something if you believe it's the right thing. If you believe it's the wrong thing, you vote no. We are following a procedure. I will not yield to the gentleman, and the gentleman will observe regular order. The gentleman will observe regular order. Gentleman thinks that if he gets up and yells on it, if he's going to intimidate people into believing he's right, he is wrong. The gentleman is wrong. The gentleman is providing cover for his colleagues rather than doing the right thing. It's Republicans wrapping their arms around Republicans rather than doing the right thing on behalf of the heroes. It is a shame. A shame. If you believe this is a bad idea to provide health care, then vote no. But don't give me the cowardly view that, oh, if it was a different procedure, the gentleman will observe regular order and sit down. I will not. The gentleman will sit. The gentleman is correct in sitting. I will not.
This is quite obviously not in order.
Gentleman will suspend.
I will not stand here
Gentleman is recognized.
and listen to my colleagues say, oh, if only I had a different procedure that allows us to stall, and then vote no. Instead of standing up and defending your colleagues and voting no on this humane bill, you should urge them to vote yes, something the gentleman has not done.
Representative Weiner was responding to Representative Peter King, who had just spoken before him. Peter King and Anthony Weiner are both co-sponsors of this bill that failed, and we're going to talk about why it failed in just a moment. We did invite Representative King to join us. He is somebody who has joined us in the past quite regularly. He was not able to join us today, but we do have with us Congressman Anthony Weiner, a Democrat from New York. Congressman Weiner, no one has ever doubted that you are a passionate guy. Anybody who's ever followed you in politics, you're passionate. I think most of your colleagues are. But even you said earlier today to somebody, I guess the Brooklyn came out in me. What made you get that mad last night?
Well, this isn't about me or Peter King. You know, for 9 years now, people who got sick because they did the right thing, they came to Ground Zero to try to help their neighbors. Sometimes they were just living in the wrong neighborhood. Those people are quite literally dying every single day. You know, I have a guy that works for me, Ed Colton, that every day I listen to him cough and wheeze. He was a police officer who is now retired. This is what this is about. And, you know, sometimes you think, even in this moment in our political lives, that there are some things that should transcend politics. You have nights like last night, where 95% of Democrats voted to give 9/11 responders health care, and simply because it was a Democrat majority, just about every Republican voted no. And frankly, that was outrageous. And the fact that the excuses that were being made, well, we don't like this being done so quickly, we don't like it being done on this calendar, we don't like it on this day. At the end of the day, I think the American people want us to stand up and vote for what we think is right. And that's what got my goat last night.
And so you said that. You said vote yes if you believe you should vote yes, vote no if you believe you should vote no. But I think what we've learned in the last year or two, as we've all become, this whole country has become intimately involved with the legislative process, is that that happens far less than you would expect it to. Most people, I think, would think that you vote yes on things you support, you vote no on things you don't, and then you get in and you realize the whole political system works against you actually voting the way you think you should vote, or maybe that your constituents think you should vote.
Well, that's exactly right. And I thought, maybe naively, I've only been in Congress 12 years, I thought naively if there was ever an issue that should transcend that type of posturing, it would be whether to provide health care for 9/11 first responders. These are people who were approaching the 9-year anniversary of September 11th. People from 430 of the 435 congressional districts. You know, I remember vividly, and you probably do well as well, on the West Side Highway after September 11th, you can look at the different license plates of the firefighters, of the people who just came there to help, all around the country. Well, those people were told the air was safe. They're quite literally dying by degrees right now. All this is about is whether we give them the same honor and the same health care that we've offered other people who have been attacked in circumstances like this. And that's what this is about.
What was it, without getting arcane and into House rules, what was it that was the procedural problem? What were the Republicans mad at that they said the Democrats did to get this through? And how can that be changed to right this wrong?
Well, look, the fact is that we have a special procedure for things that are non-controversial, so they don't go on for months and months and months of debate, things that we basically agree upon. And this was one of those bills, or so we thought, and we were very, very close. You know, people don't realize that if only 21 of the 155 Republicans that voted no changed their position and voted yes, maybe if Peter King did more time calling them rather than calling names of Democrats, then this thing would have passed. This is a common procedure. It's used all the time. It was used today a couple of times already. Because, frankly, it was beyond a lot of people's understanding why anyone would want to politicize this and make it a long, drawn-out fight. It's already been 9 years. It's already gone through 2 committees. It's already had many amendments to it. The time is done for stalling. We need to provide these first responders, who are my neighbors, with the care that they need.
What have you talked to Peter King? I mean, you guys both want this bill done. What happens now? Is it dead? Can you guys come together and somehow get this back?
Well, it's not dead. I mean, I don't look like much, but I can take care of myself, and we're figuring out a way to resurrect it. And even the most heated of tension can't transcend the idea that this isn't about a couple of politicians or even 2 parties. This is about the people that we're trying to help. And we're going to try, again, for whatever procedure we possibly can. But I got to tell you something. There's a certain thematic thing going on here in Washington. And that is the Republican Party, and I'm not the first to say it, it really has taken this posture that anything Democrats propose, they're going to be against, no matter how virtuous. And they'll say they want more amendments. They'll say they want more time. They say we don't like the day of the week. We don't like how many pages are in the bill. But the fact is, we have to suspend that. If for no other reason, then these people simply can't wait any longer. They're not Democrat or Republican when they ran down to ground zero.
Here's how Gloria Borger put it, our senior political analyst. She says that a lot of Americans see it, and you know that the confidence in Congress is at record lows, about 11%, and that if you went in Congress and you asked people to agree that the sky is blue, they wouldn't be able to agree on that. So here's the difficulty. You may be right in saying that it's Republicans who won't agree to anything Democrats do, but what the country sees is distasteful bickering over everything. So some people might see you and say, boy, that was passionate. I'm glad somebody's finally put their foot down and says we're not taking it anymore. And yet what somebody else might see is, this is what they do in Congress? What have you been hearing from people?
Well, I got to tell you something. There is a lot of passion on both sides of the aisle, and you're right, there's a lot of dissatisfaction. But part of the reason there's this dissatisfaction, in my view, is the Republican Party has been brilliantly effective in their tactic of stopping things from happening. We saw the United States Senate just this week table a small business bill to help out small businesses like the ones I have in Queens and Brooklyn. They've been successful at it. What we're trying to do is every single day with 3 yards and a cloud of dust of get stuff done. But last night took it to a whole new level, because last night is about providing health care to 9/11 responders. Ask the 155 Republicans that voted no why. Are they going to say it was the